Hi, good morning. The video I'm going to do today is because of a response to a short video I did. Let me just put my clicker down there. Now, I did the eyebrows on this little girl. First time I tried it with this like tape method, which I know I've seen somewhere, but I cannot place it. So if any of you know of other people that are doing it, again, pop the link below because I just can remember. It's just something I got in my head that using this tape to sort of mask it off and then do it. So I had a go with this one because I've got a little bit of a thing about symmetry. I know our eyebrows are not symmetrical, are they? And I do love it when you've got maybe an eyebrow up or an eyebrow down or a different quirky looking eyebrow. It looks great on the doll. But if you just want a basic inline eyebrow, this method worked so well. I'm sure I do need to improve on it. So first time trying it. And then I'm thinking in my head, could I use it for other things like eyeliners or patterns? So yeah, there's a lot of play you could do with that. And if you've done it, let alone if you've seen somebody else do it, pop a comment below and let us know how you did it or what you did it for, because it helps everybody. Then we can all have a look or have a play. So I'm just going to pop Bunny down a second because I've got a spare face plate, which is I think I got it with the first AliExpress blythe I got. Somehow they were giving extra faces at that point. I mean, at the moment it's just you get 3,000 hands, but at that point I think I got a free if I could speak face plate as well. So I can have a play with this one. So I'm just going to show you what I did. And again, you can obviously alter it from there. But I know a few people had said to me, oh, that's unusual, not seen that before. So I thought, yeah, why not? Let's have a go. It'll be a really quick video. I'm using this faceplate. I've already put a couple of coats of Mr. Super Clear on it. I've got some pencils ready, etc., etc. So come and have a look. If you enjoy it, you know what to do. Please like, subscribe and share. And let's go top down and get us some little eyebrows made. So here we go. Now, I've got my basic things here. I've just left Bunny on here just to sort of show you in case you hadn't seen her eyebrows. Those were the eyebrows I managed to achieve with this method, which I was super pleased. I know they're nothing exciting or fancy, but yeah, they worked for me. So I'm going to pop her to one side. Over there, Miss Bunny. And here are the bits and pieces I've got. As I mentioned, this has already had 2 coats of Mr. Super Clear because it was a very shiny face. So I cleaned it up and just sort of gave it a quick spray. I have a few bits and pieces here. These are the pencils that I've been using. Now, these are relatively new, so the first time I'd used them on the eyebrows as well. So I have a massive selection of colours there. So I'm really pleased with those. I've got a normal pencil here for a bit of marking out, and the rubber for some reason on the end of this pencil works better for rubbing things out than the normal rubber I've got. I could do with getting a putty rubber or something like that. Pencil sharpener, you need to make sure these are sharp. I've got my acrylic pens. I'm not saying I'm going to use them, but I thought I might have an experiment just to see, because like I said, this is only a practice plate, so I can mess about with it and then get rid of it all afterwards. I'm curious to know whether it would bleed through this, so I'm going to have a play with them as well, just sort of something a bit different to what I actually did. And this is the masking tape that I've got. If I remember rightly, I got like a pack of 3 of them. I think I bought them on eBay. It doesn't have to be this fine, as you can cut up some normal masking tape. Just that these, I thought, oh, well, yeah, okay, let's see. I cannot remember either what I bought them for, but they've come in handy. So the colours I'm going to actually pick out. I'm going to pick out a grey. I didn't want a too strong an eyebrow. So I started with a grey, as I say, made sure it's really sharpened up. And then I'll go with this sort of darker brown to sort of give a bit of colour. But you could add all sorts of colours, fantasy ones. You could make some really sort of quite exotic eyebrows using this method. But I'm just going to do the basic that I did. So with the masking tape, it just made sure I got the lines there, because I always end up being a bit wobbly. I know I've only done about 2, but it was irritating me what I did, so I thought I wanted to try this. Now, first of all, I'm just going to pop the tape on. I might move it yet, but I'm thinking, well, roughly eyebrows, I want them about there. It's as the sort of brow lifts up. Now, I don't really want them straight across, but just for a second, because I just want to rip this off so I don't have to be fighting with a full reel. So that's about the length I've used, but it's easily comes, it comes on and off. It's easy to use. So because I want a little bit of a shape, I don't want them to go straight across. I'm sort of taking the point from there, and because it's a masking tape, it sort of stretches, so you can shape it. So that's what I'm saying. You could shape one that way. You could shape one that way if you wanted to. So you could have a play with the shapes of your eyebrows. You could have two going that way. You could have little side eyebrows. You could do all sorts with this. But for now, I'm just going to curve it round. And then I'm having a look at it. I'm thinking, is it equal? That's a little bit higher than that side. So let's bring it down a bit. But the beauty is this tape moves really easy. So I think that is approximately okay. It's a little bit more difficult than when I'm normally doing it because I've got the camera in the way. But that is about where I want it. So I can just leave the tape on. It's not going to hurt anything on there. It's really good for that. And I'm just going to take my regular pencil because this is how you can work out your symmetry. I mean, this gives you your line. But what about a bit of symmetry? Or if you want an unusual shaped brow, how would you position it? I sort of went, approximately there. But because I'm drawing on the tape, it's not affecting anything else. So I'm like, yeah, that looks about equal. Now, where do I want it to come to? Maybe there. So I just sort of do a little angle there and a little angle there. Check that I think, yeah, I think that is about the same. If you really wanted to be precise, you could get a tape measure out to make sure the length's there. But as I said, we don't have equal eyebrows. So some discrepancies are really good. If anything, it can create a lot of character. So it is good to sort of have a play with it as well. As I said, this is just the basic one. So yeah, we've got some points there. So that is okay. So because the tape's there, I don't need to worry about this lower line. I can sort of go over it. And it won't matter, and I'll show you where the magic then happens. So nice sharp pencil. These are watercolor pencils, so if you did want to sort of smudge it in afterwards, you know, make it a solid color or paint it with them, you can do all sorts. But I just decided to do the one where you just do the little lines. So I just basically went from there and I thought, yeah, that'll do. And I just went down, 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 down. As you can see, it doesn't matter if I go on. I don't have to think, oh, where do I stop? I can just go down. That's it. Yeah, so that's just a basic shape. But now I know where to start on the other side because it's already taped up. And I do approximately the same on the other side. I know I found with the short video it's harder to do this side because of the camera being in the way. So that one might be a bit different. So that's a starting point. You think, yeah, that's okay. But I need a little bit more to it. So obviously we need a few more lines. So now it doesn't matter. Look, can you see I'm going up? So I'm going on the tape and up. Now that's gone a little bit high there, so I don't like that bit. So we can just rub it out. Give it a little blow to get rid of the sort of filings from the rubber. And off we go again. Now I'm going on a slightly different angle now. So the first ones were straight, but these are sort of going down a little bit more shaped. Now again, fantasy colours would look great in this system. You could put lots of rainbow colours. And again, you don't need to worry about that bottom line. It just holds it. So there we go. So again, a little bit of grey. Now, I wanted a little bit of brown because obviously her colouring previously was that. But this is, like I say, you could sort of really play about. Now, I don't know about you, depending on how you have your eyebrows done, but mine sort of go a little bit that way as well. So it's a little bit that way. And then again, we can either go up from the bottom, and yeah, it looks like I'm going on there, but you'll see when I've finished how beautifully that works. And then a little bit again, so I've come over a little bit, because like I say, mine do that. I suppose it depends on whether you shape your eyebrows or whether they're naturally sort of that shape. I mean, everybody's different, aren't they? And so this side's definitely more difficult to get to without moving the camera. So that's the basic eyebrow. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's okay. Let's see what happens when I take this tape off. Are we ready? So the tape is coming off and look at that line. It gives us a really nice, neat line. And again, you obviously can see where the pencil's gone onto that, if I can hold it straight. So that has been quite useful. I think I got more pencil on my last one, so it's perhaps the more you do, the easier it gets. So that gives me a basic eyebrow, and it would be up to me from there whether I want to add. Now, I did add a little bit with the previous one, but I don't really think I need to add that much with this one, because I think on the other one I took it down a little bit there. Yeah, can you see, to sort of give it a little bit more shape? And I'll just sort of, some of you probably be a lot neater than me doing this bit. because it's always thicker there, isn't it, your eyebrow? But again, if you don't like it, it will rub out. So that is just a rough idea how I did my eyebrow. Now I'm curious to have a little play with this. I'm going to sort of just tape some areas off. I mean, it just rips, really, is. It's only paper tape. So I'm going to do it on this corner. And then, I know I said I can remove it all, which I can. I'll just get some acetone and clear it all off. Because then this one, I can keep reusing this one as a little practice. So, just out of curiosity, let's do some lines. That doesn't sound good, does it? And that's not what I meant at all. Let's put some lines up with the masking tape. So that's one way. So we've got to make sure they're nice and straight. There we go. And then I'm curious now, I'm going to try something else. You get things in your head, don't you? And you just have to try. So I'm now going to take a couple that way. I don't need all that length there. And one there. So I've got like a bit of a sort of a crisscrossy pattern going off there. And I think one more. So I'm going to do some stripes and then some crisscrosses. And let's see if that works. I'm tempted, can't make up my mind whether I'm not going to use the acrylic pens because I'm not sure whether they're going to go through. Obviously, I mean, this tape might take that bit off. You would then Mr. Super Clear. When you're happy with it, you'd be Mr. Super Clearing or whatever varnish you use and then carry on if you want to do anything extra. Now, I mentioned these pens when I did Bunny herself because these were a birthday present off my son after we saw them on Beth Ramsden's page. And it was amazing how she used them doing all these shoes and everything. It was absolutely gorgeous. So let's just pick a couple. We'll go for the purple. Now let's see. I don't know whether this is going to go through. It might do, but let's try it because I don't have to worry. I'm just going to go straight over. Yeah, and there's one there. So we'll go for 4 purple squares, and I'm hoping when I actually take the tape off, we will have squares and it won't have bled. But I don't know because I've not done these before. Let's have a pink stripe, shall we? She's going to be very multicoloured, this girl. But again, I don't have to worry. I'm just colouring in the lines. And the tape is holding everything in place. So I don't have to mess about. It's nice and quick. Again, you could do obviously with paint. If you sort of like to use your paint, that would work. What other colour have I got already? We got an orange there. Because obviously, again, I did stripes on my eyes of Bunny and I didn't do it this way. And now I've realised, I'm like, oh God, that would have been so much easier because it was hard to get some straight lines there. So I'm just going to leave it a second because these are sort of a little bit wet because they are paint pens. So I think it just needs to dry. You can see how it's a little bit shiny where it's wet. So I'm just going to leave them for a second. And the other one I'd got in my head was, what about round the eyes? Could we do anything? So again, I'm just breaking off a few pieces of this and let's have a play here. I don't know whether this will work. Yeah, this is a total 100% experiment. But so say if I've masked off, so what I'm actually after is sort of a nice sort of cat eye effect there, but you could do all sorts all the way around the face. And again, you could, if you've got a wide, actually that's something I've just thought of, if you've got a wider masking tape, if you could cut out a little flower shape or something, you could put that on and you could use that as well. That's so many applications. So let's see, now shall we use pencil? I think I'm going to use pencil here, and I've got a black pencil here, and I'm just going to colour it in. I don't think I've stuck this tape down properly there. That would help. Make sure you do stick your tape down nice and neat because otherwise if it lifts it's going to bleed, obviously. So that's just a little bit of a play there. And again, if you're doing both sides, you'd mask it off first so you're happy with how equal it was, and then you could go from there. Now, because this is pencil, I'm going to take this one straight off. Are we ready? Oh, don't bleed. Hey, look at that. We have a really nice little line. It should have been a lot lower if it was going to be a cat eye, but yeah, it's done what I hoped. Right, has this dried? I think it has. So fingers crossed, let's see. That's one. It does bleed a little bit. I can see it has bled. I've got tape stuck to me now. Yeah. Although I don't know, until it's all off, I can't really tell, but I think it has bled slightly. So perhaps if you're using anything that's a wet product, should we just take the whole lot off? it might not work. I think it might be more just for pencils. To be honest though, the lines haven't worked too bad. There is a bit of bleeding, but they have bled quite bad. So it means that it will come through the tape. So I wouldn't recommend using them at all. I think it's all got to be about the pencil. So we're going to have another one with the pencil. We could try that again, but I'm going to do it with pencil. Oh, knocked the camera. Apologies for that. It's because I'm trying to break all these bits of tape off on my hands, and then I don't have to keep picking it up. So look, I've got all these tape on my hands now. So we'll try it on our other side. And then we'll just take some across. Just keep it nice and simple. I'm not going to do a lot. So we'd have one stripe and one little square. So let's pick out. We did a purple, didn't we, last time? So I'll get a purple pencil. And in here, I'm just going to do a little scribble. And a little scribble. So I'm not thinking, oh, I've got to get this square. I mean, that isn't a perfect square, but I'm not got to go, oh, I've got to get the square right. And for the pink, let's see, make sure that's all flat. But as you see, I can see I'm not sort of having to over worry. I'm hoping they're saying that. I'm hoping it's going to work. Over worry about lines. I'm just giving it a little scribble in there. I'll go a little bit the other side as well. Make sure I got right up to that line. Right, so we can see that didn't work. It bled. So let's have a go. Are we ready? I mean, again, these are watercolour pencils. You do have to be careful if you get them wet. Yeah, look at that, eh? I quite like that. I don't know why, just as a sort of a thing shooting out from the side of her head. I do actually like that. And the thing is, though, with the tape, I've just pulled that off. But to be honest, you can reuse it again. So if I now wanted to line up, let's see if you can put it over tape, over your pencil. Ideally, Mr. Super Clear it, and then you could probably do this easy. So just out of curiosity, let's see. And I'm just using the same tape up, so it's you're not wasting it. Oh, that's a funny shape. Why am I doing it that shape? I do not know. Where am I going? Although we could have a strange shape. What shape shall I do? I was hoping for another one of those, but I'm going to have to be careful how I do that, aren't I? Let's think about the placement here. Nope. I'll do something down here. Let's just have a play. I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm going in the wrong direction, aren't I? Right, I need the tape that way. And that way. And let's have a green. Let's just go for it. Anything goes here. Make sure it's down flat. And we'll get the pencil in. As you can see, I'm not doing anything fancy with it. I'm just making sure I'm covering all the areas that don't have the tape on. Ready? That was nice and quick. Ta-da! And again, we've got some lovely lines there. We haven't had to go, oh, I'm scared, you know, my lines are going to go funny. I know you might not do that. I do. I'm a bit, I don't know, I get a little bit nervous when I'm doing the faces. And I worry sort of I'm going to sort of smudge it, or then I'll have to do it 10 times. But this way, well, it's a doddle, isn't it? Right, I'm breaking off some more tape because I've just thought of something I want to try. Now, I'm just trying to think the pattern of how a tartan would work, but I'm not sure on this. Where should we do it? On top of her head here? It's going to look like the tattooed lady, this one. So if I did it one way, I need 2 more pieces of tape. I'm just, again, it's that, will it go over the stuff to give you another colour without it smudging is what I'm going to try. This is the last one. This is the last one I'm going to try. And then I leave you to have a play. So you can see what I'm after there, sort of. In fact, no, I think it does need 2 more. I think I'm probably doing the bits of tape way too long. And also I should have measured them out, because you can see the middle one's smaller, but it doesn't matter. Let's see how this goes. So I have there, I'll just smooth it down. 1, 2, I have 9 squares. So You do have to go it in both directions, I'm finding. That's one pink one. But I say, if I did go over, it doesn't matter because that's not going to touch the doll. And another one. Let's have some. Oh, I keep knocking the camera with these pencils because they're long, aren't they? And another one. And another one. I'm going a bit random now. Throw a bit of purple in there. But you can see I'm doing this really quickly. I mean, you would do it a little bit more careful if you were doing it for yourself, obviously. And we'll have one more colour. What should we have? We've got a blue. Let's go for a blue. I just like playing with colours. These pencils are so nice as well. I'm so glad I got them. Again, I think they were only on eBay find. Or they might have been Amazon. They might have been Amazon. Right, now again, I would recommend you take a little bit more time to go round them. So let's take the tape off. And I want to keep the tape this time as well. Let me peel it off. It doesn't want to peel off there. Come on, lift it. Yeah, don't flatten your ends down too much because then you can't get them off. So that's one. Just stick it on my hand. Two. That goes in the opposite direction. That would help because I put them on after, didn't I? On that way if I can get it up. There we are. Now remember, I didn't actually map these out very square, so they're not going to be perfect. But not bad, eh? So what I wanted to try was, I wanted to put the tape over. Let me get this the right way around. Would it work? I wanted to sort of do it over and then see if I can get in between. And see if it takes the tape off. Takes it off. We'll just do these two sides. So I've covered that and that. And then I'm wanting the square in between. But because you can see through the tape as well, you can see where your other lines are. This is all an experiment, so if it goes wrong, it doesn't matter. Right, so let's see. I'm now going to do, make sure it's flat. Pink square. Now again, I know these squares aren't equal because I've just rushed that bit really. I've just thrown it on. Pink square. It's going to have to be a purple one, isn't it? And oh, it's when the tape wasn't stuck down properly there, so really make sure it is stuck down because I felt it go under the tape. That's why I knew. So shall we see? 1, 2. Yeah, it would work. It doesn't take off the other tape even without a layer of Mr. Super Clear. But yeah, that's a definite no-no. So don't use your acrylic pens. Or your paint pens or felt tips or anything like that you use. I wouldn't recommend that because it bleeds through the tape. Pencils work fine. So we've had a little play there. And as I say, if you've got a thicker one, you could cut out, you could even use a hole punch to get a perfect shape. You could cut out a little shape and then just sort of colour in inside. Now the thing with these, I'm just looking, I haven't got a paintbrush near me, but I'm just going to wet my fingers, so excuse me for that. But because obviously this is watercolour paint, oh, you see, you could do all sorts with it from there if you're using a brush and making it all neat and things like that. So that's my little play with the masking tape. So here we are, the masking tape. It's just some cheap masking tape I got. I'm pretty sure it would have been either eBay or Amazon. That's usually where I get bits and pieces like this. Your local haberdashery store might sell them. I've used these watercolour pencils. Again, that is a personal choice. Some people don't want to use them, but I wouldn't recommend using the wet. That is the only thing I think you need to avoid. Don't use anything wet because obviously it's paper masking. Now if you get, perhaps, as I mentioned, you know, the nail art ones when people have these stripes and fancy patterns on their nails, now they are going to be more like a sellotape. I know perhaps they're maybe not so environmental, so that's something to think about. But obviously a nail varnish is a liquid, isn't it? So perhaps using those you could get a finer result, something like that. So just have a play. Again, if you've got a spare faceplate, it's not so bad. And again, I'm just going to take all that off and I can use it again. Why is that not fitting in? That's because that's the wrong pencil. I'll put that one in there. But yeah, just a play. Let me know. hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you all very soon with another tutorial. Bye bye for now.